We have new details this morning surrounding Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, who remains hospitalized with complications from surgery. The Pentagon is saying there's no timetable for his return as backlash and scrutiny grow over communication breakdown, a major one at that. It left the White House, the president, Congress, and national security officials in the dark on the secretary's condition for multiple days. Joining us now is Republican Representative Mark Alford of Missouri, a member of the House Armed Services Committee. Congressman, I got a lot to ask you this morning, so thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Let me just start with something that you posted on Twitter or X. You said, quote, Americans deserve to know, a few things here. One, why no one in the administration was notified of his hospitalization, who at the Pentagon was aware of the situation, and with Austin's deputy secretary on vacation, what plans were in place to make sure our homeland was secure? Are your sources giving you any more clarity on those answers, sir? And if not, how do you plan to get them?
Well, none that we've had so far, Markie. Thanks for having us on today. And this is the same questions that Chairman Rogers of the House Armed Services Committee and the ranking member, a Democrat, in fact, are asking. They want some transparency. What happened? What is wrong with the Secretary of Defense? We are praying for his full recovery. But look, this is second in command, only behind the commander in chief when it comes to military affairs. I'm looking at this through the lens of China, Russia, and Iran. We have the President of the United States on the beach in St. Croix getting a tan. We have the Secretary of Defense hospitalized and no one knows about it. Mm-hmm. And we have just this past Monday, the Commandant of the Marine Corps having open heart surgery. This is a continuation of weakness on the world stage that this administration has shown, and we've got to get to the bottom of it.
It's hard to imagine where this breakdown happened for a retired four-star general, right? I mean, we also know this morning Secretary Austin is still in the hospital. Multiple outlets are reporting he had to be transported by ambulance, but still little information, to your point, has been shared about his condition or the original procedure he underwent. It's hard to believe, though, that if he was incapacitated, that his staff wouldn't have known protocol, his immediate family wouldn't have known that they needed to call somebody on his behalf. What should protocol look like in a situation like this?
Well, apparently the Pentagon's going to spend a month reviewing this. It shouldn't take that long. I saw today that his chief of staff has made some recommendations as to a follow-up of what should happen in the immediate future. But look, two of his staffers, one of them had the flu, and they used that as an excuse of not relaying the information. I think others realize now what a serious, grave situation this was and is for the national security of America. It is time to step up their act. I hope they're going to get their act together because our future depends on the health and well-being of people like Secretary Austin.
Yeah. And let's talk about the future. You also said in your post that, quote, leaving his post without notifying the proper chains of command was not only irresponsible but dangerous. As you know, there are growing calls from Republicans for him to step down or to be fired. Are you in that same camp, sir?
Well, look, I'm in Kansas City right now, ready to fly back to D.C. We are snowed in basically here in Kansas City. And this morning, I think Secretary Austin is on thin ice. Let's put it that way. There are a lot of members of the House Armed Services Committee who are not happy with the Secretary of Defense. In fact, Corey Mills, my colleague who sits to the right of me on House Armed Services, he's from Florida, and he's called for his resignation earlier on because of what he calls dereliction of duties and how he's mishandled.
Do you hope to see that, though?
I'm not at that point yet. I want to find out exactly what went on. I'm trying to approach this with a reasonable, rational manner. I want to find out what went on, get the facts in before I go to that step.
Yeah. I know Secretary Austin has taken full responsibility for his failure to disclose the hospitalization. Biden officials have said on behalf of the president that Austin is here to stay and a resignation wouldn't even be accepted. What message do you think all of this sends to our adversaries?
Well, it's weakness, Markie. Just like I said, if you're Xi Jinping, if you're Vladimir Putin, if you're one of the mullahs in Iran, you're looking at this and laughing at America as a continued sign of weakness from this administration. Hey, I don't know how much longer Biden's going to be in office. Hopefully we have a new Republican president this time or in a week or so, a year from a week. But in the meantime, they've got to step up their game and show strength on the world stage.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.